Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Oral Ireland monthly podcast for, of course, the month of September 2019. I know we're bringing this out a couple days late, but it's been busy time. So, I mean, there's a lot to talk about too. And joining me for this one, I'm delighted to say I have John, aka Constant, aka Consistent. It is, of course, John, aka Always, and everyone's favorite Simpsons meme, Luachra. How you getting on, guys?
Hello. I mean, God, I'm flattered by the introduction. Truly, honestly.
Right. So September, of course, brilliant month for RLI. I think it's fair to say, two lands in 1 month. I don't think that's ever been done before, and a lot more besides. So starting off at the very start of the month was, of course, QCon. Uh, John, of course, you weren't there, but Luachra, your first ever
Yeah,
LAN,
I
and
was indeed.
how'd you find it?
Oh, it was fucking great. Like, I wasn't. The first time I got there, I met Sam and who did I meet? I met Sam and Abe, and it was the most awkward introduction I got. But once you get in, like an hour into the actual event, you just sort of know everyone, and you just get to mess around with people, and it's just honestly just such a great experience to know people.
Yeah, good to hear. And after that is the biggest thing, like especially you meet people, you meet new people for the first time, and it's a massive shock. But it's great. No, that is the joy of land. I think is spot on. John, obviously you weren't there, but it was it was really good event. I sadly, however, we get the sad music now. We'll get the fake rain on
I
screen
think I
here.
think I know what's happening. I think I know what's coming up.
I sadly lost my first and then very quickly my second ever
Yes,
games at LAN.
Uh,
a 2 year undefeated streak
Yeah,
in Irish lands crushed.
yeah.
Oh, like that's the biggest story out of the event as far as I'm concerned. Like
Thanks, John.
when I saw the bracket, I just couldn't believe it. Like I genuinely thought the admins had messed up.
Yeah, me too. Turns out one admin messed up. His name was Dave Ford. Yeah.
Oof.
Thanks, John. Yeah, no, not really messed up. Listen, I never expected going into it. I was genuinely going in for the crack, and my teammate Cans, who to be fair was bang on and had roughly the same attitude as myself. We went in and we basically did as well as expected, which I was happy enough with. But congrats, I guess, in a way, to Red Eyes and Enrong for giving me my first ever loss, and then tragically, Sam and Quark for reverse sweeping us in the
Those
losers
were first
bracket.
week. Oh,
I'm 99% sure that was reverse sweep. It was rough. Uh
Such a heartbreaker.
yeah, it was tragic. But I tell you what, I loved it. And I think honestly, this is gonna sound stupid, but my favorite thing about partially playing with cans and playing at LAN for the first time in a while, is not having a proper headset. I know that sounds really dumb, but like we didn't have mics. We just shouted at each other, and it was brilliant. That was by far and away my favorite bit about QCon. Um, After the setup though was there. Luke Real backing up in this one. The setup there was brilliant.
Yeah.
QCon did their usual projector for us, and their kind of beanbag lobby area was
Yeah, I really enjoyed the viewing area. Like, it was different to all the other ones.
Yeah, no, it absolutely was. It's great, absolutely great, and a couple of spectators too. Shout out to Ryan and his brother, I think, and
Ben.
some other people. Yeah, who showed up on the day, because that was also really cool of them. Yeah, QCon, it was great. Shout out to, of course, Fusher and Mug for winning it. I don't think there was many surprises. Well done to Rob and Red Eyes for coming second though, especially Rob coming in as kind of a last minute sub kind of deal. That was that was a bit tense, but no, I mean fair play to them for getting that far. It was good, and yeah, no, thank you to QCon on the off chance they're listening, because it was a really good event, and they're just sound, they're just
yeah.
nice guys at QCon. It's a
From
shame, John, you went there.
yeah, from like an outside perspective, like just I've heard little complaints to no complaints honestly about the two QCons.
Yeah.
So Sound lads, hopefully we have another one next year, and hopefully I'll be there because it sounds like something I've really got to experience.
Yeah, no, it is great, and as well the way their accommodation is set up, it is something worth pointing out for people who haven't been there, because it's run by university. It means that anyone over 18 can stay on what would be student accommodation during the college year, but obviously during summer it's completely empty. So there's a genuinely a brilliant bit of like everyone gets together and we just order takeaway, have a few drinks, and then head off if that's your mood. But yeah, no, brilliant event, and cannot stress enough how good it is. Moving on, John. I think this might hurt you a bit more now. We get some more sad music, some more fake rain over the screen. Six Mans is finished.
Yes.
Six Mans is no more.
Yes. So Six Mans officially ended Wednesday, September 17th, which was the week before Giga-bite LAN was get to later. But I think it's fair to say it effectively ended pretty early on into the season.
Yeah.
Just especially with Div 2, like Jesus Christ.
Represent here.
But like
Yeah.
I can't single out Div 2 when like it was kind of the same across the whole league, unfortunately. I don't know, it's sad because like I'll be honest, like there was like we were questioning where to even do a season 5, and I was like, I want to do a season 5, and people were like, oh cool. And in hindsight, maybe it wasn't the best idea, but I'm glad I stuck it out. I'm glad we saw it out to the end.
Yeah, no, I think you're right there, to be fair, and I think there's no point playing the blame game or anything, but for me it was a little bit heartbreaking seeing about 4 or 5 people in every division really active and chatting away to each other and all the rest, and they just for the life of them could not get a game together, and it was a shame, but I have to say I think it was the right move. Six Man's kind of done its thing. It brought a lot of people together. It got more people interested in RLI as a whole. It's been a brilliant project. I have to say a massive thumbs up to Enron for thinking of the idea in the first place. Like not the 6 Man's concept, but the idea of running a league system for it. And yeah, no, fair play to you, John, as well, who really kept it going as well in the later seasons. So I mean, yeah, it's had its time. It was brilliant. I now have a load of useless Discord bot code, so if anyone,
it was good practice.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
that's true.
Yeah. It's like when I started, I was plat 3, and like you'll just see later, like I'm peaking, boys.
Yeah.
I'm actually good now.
It's going pro soon.
No, like there's been so many good memories, like Dormer and Rez carrying me to my first win way back in the old Div 3, or just bantering with Jamie Soros and Sheds. Please come back to the server, guys. By the way, I miss you guys.
Yeah, those guys are great.
But I'll quickly go over the winners of the final season from Div 4 up. Your final Div 4 champion is Archer with an 8-2 record, which is Div 4 was the most active division, so props to him on that. Your final Div 3 champion is who went 6, which is mightily impressive. Your final Div 2 champion with a grand total of 4 games played at Pasco. Yeah. Your final Div 1 champion is Slick Mick, who was the only person to get 6 games, so he got no penalty. Although he did go 5-1, to be fair. So props to him there. And your final Premier champion, your G Science Premier champion, is Mug. 2 times, only person to do it. Another title for his collection of titles. And congrats to him. He was the winner of €50. So props to Mug. Bull bus.
Yeah. No, very well said, John. Yeah, no, it was good while it lasted. Season 5 has come and gone. Let's put it that way. But yeah, I hope people in general, not just between us 3, but in general, have a lot of good memories from it, and I hope people will look back maybe in some point and go, oh yeah, 6 Mans, that was actually a really cool thing. Moving on then to slightly different tournaments. IEL, as you know, RLI have entered a team into IEL, which, if you're unaware, is a sort of a European league with interesting rules about how good the players can be in each team and all the rest. We have, of course, Luachra, arguably the perfect candidate to talk about this. So, just to keep people updated, the league sort of how to describe it? The league part,
The regular season.
the regular season, yeah, has finished up, and we are now on our way into playoffs. So Luachra, why don't you give us a brief rundown of how people have done?
Right. So yeah. So for those who don't know, I'm the captain of the challenger team, which is basically like from mid champ 2 until like low of low grand champ. And in our team we have Little Dude and Rough. So we started off the season really well, went 4-0, and then it sort of like kept going 1-1 until like mid season, and we started to drop off. And to get playoffs, you sort of need to be in like 15-9 region at the end of the season. So we had to battle it out, but in the end, we barely made playoffs, and there were a couple of questionable games with Little Dude's internet, but we pulled it through, and now we're making our way into playoffs where we're hoping to do pretty well, but at the same time, there's a lot of good teams that could get in our way.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like genuinely to yourselves, or sorry, to yourself personally, to the rest of the challenger team, and to the full master team, which is our top tier team, the ultimate playoffs. Genuinely, really, really proud of you guys for doing it. 100%. For me, this is a massive deal, and it is great to see some Irish representation. I'm not gonna get stupidly nationalistic here, but that is kind of why we exist, is to promote Irish Rocket League, and the fact that we're able to do it at this, sure, it may not be the most formal or official setup, but to do it at some sort of European level is, I think, brilliant. To give you guys a brief rundown, so yes, the master team went 21-3 in the entire season, and 2 of those losses, there was genuine internet troubles, or I think 2 of them there was a challenger sub. Not that blaming challenger subs, but it is a difference. So on their day, I would say unbeatable in this league. To give you a perspective, the next best team went, I think, 18-6. So they've gone 3 games better essentially than those guys, which is incredible.
Basically, undisputed 1 seed for playoffs.
Yeah,
like
big time.
Zero question.
Big time.
Of course, that doesn't matter. Here's hoping they bring it home in the playoffs.
Yeah, true. No, nothing's won yet, unfortunately. Mildly frustratingly, there's still the playoffs, which is sort of like a single elimination tournament to the end. It's an interesting system. I do kind of like it, actually. You guys then obviously the challenger team, 16-8, which is very respectable. I mean, it's heartbreaking because you guys are outside of a slightly better playoff place on win percentage alone.
We got ruined a bit for the playoffs with our bracket,
which is rough. But you know what? The thing is, you're gonna have to beat everyone to win it.
Yeah,
so
exactly. You're gonna have to beat the best team if you want to win.
May as well start as you mean to go on and all that. And then us prospect guys, John was obviously in this for the first half of the season. I don't know how much you want to be associated with our name here, John. But
I'm gassing these guys up. The turnaround they brought in around with the addition of Cake Jumper deserves all the credit in the world. At one point they were on a 3-series win streak, which for the prospects is monumental.
Yeah. We did. I feel like we did very well. Our first half season was pretty abysmal. I'm not gonna beat around the bush here. To be honest, it was so hard to put our finger on as to what the issue here and there was. A couple of things worked for us. Particularly Enron coming in, gives them 1-2 pointers, which was helpful. Cake came in, who is massively enthusiastic and just all round sound lad. So good on him. So we went, I think it was 3-9 in the first half of the season, and we finished up on 10-14. So that gave us a second half score of 7-5, I think. Yeah, so we did very, very well. I think we are mid-table in our sort of section of the league, which is pretty respectable. And what I thought was funny is, if you took our second half form, which was 7-5, and you kind of doubled it, say we played as well as we did in the second half alone, we'd still be in the
14,
exact same spot in the league.
Oh,
So no, but the thing is, right? Yeah, that seems a bit dodgy, but also I feel like it means we've actually kind of fulfilled some sort of expectation there. Joe, we haven't like, it doesn't feel like the first half really ruined it for us when you think of it that way.
yeah. Like even when I was on the roster, like it's not like we were getting completely dominated. Like the games were competitive, you know. Like
Yeah, all big time.
we were like we've never been outclassed, you know. And like, you can tell that's with the new roster as well. Like so, like at the end of the day, like two out of three rosters in playoffs for first season IL is like nothing to be ashamed of whatsoever. And the third roster, solid mid table, like you can't be mad at that.
No, not at all. From my point of view, as someone who kind of half oversaw all three teams, no, delighted. Absolutely couldn't be happier. And the guys I was playing with, including yourself, John, all of them absolutely sound. Really, really just up for it is the best way I can describe it. They're always in the mood, ready to go. If anything, I'm not gonna lie, one or two getting frustrated at me for not being as available as I could have been. So
This is Bridora and Aaron, by the way. For
You can expose them like that.
But yeah, well, I was trying not to, but sure, look, we're here now. Yeah, no, listen, they're brilliant people to be with throughout the season, and yeah, no, it was a good run at the end of the day, and so we'll see what the future holds. But if they are listening in, big thanks to those guys, because it was, I think, honestly, part of the fun of it was they made it enjoyable, like genuinely. But yeah, okay, I'll stop. We'll move on from more sort of server based things with, of course, the 1v1 league. Started up by Jaffa and LTX Sam, who's for whatever reason decided that Latex Sam is now a good name to go with. I don't know what's happening there, but sure, look, he's yeah, that's happened. So 1v1 league,
yeah.
people seem really into it. Honestly, it's been a massive shock to me. The guys got 50 signups very, very quickly, and I believe they went slightly over that. So there's technically one or two subs should someone drop out mid-season or whatever. Yeah, no, they've done really, really well actually, the two guys, and people playing it so far seem to be enjoying it. Which I think is impressive and testament to the sort of structure that they've built up, because one's is typically not an enjoyable game mode. So the fact that they're making it enjoyable, I think, is brilliant.
Yeah, like the format, like it's like there's 5 tiers, and each tier has 2 groups. So people only have to play 2 best of 3s a week, because best of 1 is like, you could be arguably lucky, but a best of 5 is too long. Best of 3, you got a nice middle ground, and you have 2 games a week, so you know you don't. It's not just like one game to ruin your week essentially. So like, props to the lads for coming up with the format. Like, there's a good old promotion relegation system, which we'll see come into play later on. Obviously, it only just started this week, so very early days. Yes, we're not going to cover results or anything like that. But yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think it's brilliant, and yeah, we'll see how they make of it. One thing I have to say as well is, you guys might not see this, but they are genuinely beavering away in the background, making sure that games are played and stats are done, or like results are filled in and all the rest. So if you are here and you're one of those people who are a bit slow to get your game organized, don't do that. Don't be that guy. It's really annoying for us. But anyways, that's my little bit of admining done for the podcast. We got a couple of new staff in as well, which is really, really handy. One of the things, not you, Luachra. Shh. We'll come back to you later. Shh, shh. Get back in the corner. Shh.
It's not your turn.
I'm getting demodded.
Shh, shh. That's the end. We'll leave that at the end. No, with the 1v1 league though, one ambition we have is to make the RLI Ireland Twitch account a bit more active. So we've brought in a load of new streamers / casters. So huge thanks to the guys who have signed up and said they want to do it. The likes of Carrick Dan, Naylor. There was a guy called Renegade, but he seems to be slightly
he's-
hard to pin down the minute.
He's just gone missing.
VGF, who I'm delighted to see his name pop up anywhere. Red Eyes as well. I genuinely wasn't sure if Red Eyes would be interested in this kind of thing, but it's great to see he is. And if I'm missing anyone, I do hugely apologise.
I think you have all of them.
I'm
I
having a
apologize as
quick
well if
glance.
I missed anyone.
I'm having a very quick glance here. I think I'm good.
Peak preparation.
What?
Never mind. It was just a bad joke.
Okay. Moving on.
Awkward.
Luachra's here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, massive shout out to Luachra and Barzi, two new moderators. Always useful to have, spare hands, and also Barzi, who was around for a while. If I've been here like I'd say a year or so, will probably remember Barzi was at one point staff member. So I'm delighted to see him back. But more importantly, we don't have our player spotlight. We have our moderator spotlight here with Luachra. And so Luachra, I mean, obviously you've been brought in to the moderator team, and I'm loving it. It's been brilliant. And there's a little bit of a new project that you and Barzi are working on. So why don't you give us a quick rundown of what that is?
Yeah, so yesterday, me and Barzi, we announced we noticed that there was a lot of new people on the server, right? So it was like, because 6-man's had gone and 2v2 League had gone, we needed something to like introduce people to the server, and not everyone enjoys ones, which is understandable, but we needed some way for everyone to get to know the like all the players and all the admins and stuff. So we brought in a community games night, which is essentially a casual 6-man sort of thing, where you'll be put into groups of 6 or 4, and you can just do what you want in private lobby. If you want to put on awful mutators, feel free, but you're just able to do what you want and get to talk and know people who you're playing with, essentially.
Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, yeah, it's zero competitiveness, I guess, and 100% just having a fun night in. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this night in. I hope it works well. I hope people take to it. If you are there and you're one of those people who's like on the fringes, and maybe you've seen this podcast because you're in our server, but you don't say too much, this is kind of your chance. And you don't have to be a massive loudmouth or anything, but if you feel like this is your thing and we're the type of people who want to start chatting to, then I feel like this is the perfect opportunity way to do it.
Sure, look, I'll tell you from 6-man's. People here are sound. They don't bite. Like, just play. You'll have a good time. Trust me.
There you go. And if you're really active, you can be like John or Luachra here. So there's some motivation if you ever needed some. Yeah, but I'm really looking forward to this community games night. I hope it works well. I hope people enjoy it, and we'll see how it goes.
Am I right in saying it's like our first like non-competitive project? Like, it's not like competition focused,
Yeah, almost definitely.
It's like literally just for fun.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, 6-man's was genuinely meant to be for fun, and then everyone got caught up with like the league table and stats, so it became more serious. But the intention was over there. But there will be no league table. There will be no this or that. We probably
there's no seeding or anything. So.
Yeah, exactly. We probably won't even group people by who's what rank, which some people may think is a bad thing. I reckon it'd be a really good thing. I think you'll have more fun that way. But yeah, no, you're spot on, John. This is absolutely just for the fun of it and nothing else. Yeah, okay. Next topic. The Giga-bite Cafe LAN.
This is going to be juicy.
Yeah, when I write about this in the famous RLI history book, which I definitely don't need to update or anything, I'll definitely be titling this as quote unquote the LAN that shouldn't have happened. I have to say,
where do we start?
Well, I don't want to get ourselves into trouble, so here's the very, very shortened explanation of things. EGW, who the full title of that is European Games Week, we're planning on having a LAN event. very close to the event, they kind of unfortunately bottled it and couldn't do it. And their reasoning was down to sponsors not pulling out at the last minute. And then we, as in mainly myself and Enron, got in touch and said, hey, look, is there any chance we could do something different? And they said, oh, well, there's this gaming cafe over here in Dundrum. Maybe you should talk to them and try and, like have it hosted there. And so we did, basically. With a bit of work from myself, getting Rocket League installed on all the computers and making sure that, the computers had decent internet connection and all the rest. We got there and it was actually really, really good. For me, the proudest bit about it was, one, the amount of people that still showed up. And if anyone here went to that LAN and is listening in, I just want to say thank you so much for showing up and coming out when it looked like there was going to be nothing on. Because obviously I live in Dublin, it was going to be easy for me either way. But to everyone else who didn't and who had to make a trip and didn't know what was going on till like the week of the event, massive thank you, because it was incredible to see. We went from about 15 teams to 12 still showed up on the day.
Even a special shout out to all the people like dying from Ireland who came over.
Yes.
So, Jake's teammates, Timsy and Alex coming over from Netherlands, still coming over, and Dale Esports who come over from UK, I believe.
Yeah. One of them was Dutch.
One of them is they're a UK team in my heart. So yeah.
True.
So this so not being deterred by the issues, to put it lightly.
Yeah, big time.
So because I know for he said very briefly, but like don't let that deceive you into don't let it deceive you. It was a very, very stressful experience behind the scenes.
Shh, what do you mean, John? We ran it flawlessly. Shh.
You may have ran it flawlessly, but like, so yeah, this is like I was like I was co-asked before tag team is most stressful experience of my life. Or none. I was on the verge of tears so many times. Like it was just because like we didn't like I'm even like getting choked up just like I'm getting flashbacks just going on about this. No, so one team turned up late, so I had to reschedule one of the groups to not follow the Smash.gg page. Was not ideal. Just it's a lot of people management. And then we're obviously as everyone goes, you end up behind schedule at some point. So we had to catch up. Yes, we did catch up because we started doing like extra games at once. And that was like the biggest relief ever. At that point, I was actually able to relax and enjoy the games. But like, I will say, at least the players, they're all sound. They all made it as easy as possible on myself and Forehead. Just being cooperative.
That is so true. Everyone's dead sound. We didn't lose anyone to like the shops or the massive shopping center. Well, okay, we did briefly for like 10 minutes, but we didn't for like an hour, which would have been a disaster. So yeah, massive thanks to the players in general for just like being sound.
Okay. Also, I want to shout out Nulik for coming along to cast.
Yes.
He just has an obsession casting Irish Rocket League, so he helps give some nice commentary, which is nice. I'm trying to think who else to thank. Oh, the lads at the Giga-bite Cafe.
Yeah, the guys who worked there were brilliant, and their owner was dead sound too. So I mean, no, they were fantastic. They were brilliant. The guys, honestly, for me, sorry, John, I don't want to slightly ruin the flow of things, but
No, you're fine.
My favorite part about that is not necessarily how well it went. My favorite part of LAN will never be the standard of Rocket League, right? Controversial opinion, it never will be that. But it was good. No, my favorite part was the fact we were literally the only thing out of EGW to continue. And I'm not trying to rub that in anyone's face, but that is huge for me, that we had the people around myself and Enron that wanted to make it happen, and we had the people who were kind of, I don't want to say under us because that's the wrong word, but like who wanted to attend, and they did. I mean, I can't ask for more. I think it shows that there is a massive desire for Rocket League both in this country and outside. It was class. And Luachra, to bring things down to a slightly more normalized perspective, your second ever LAN in very
Yeah.
quick succession. How genuine question, right? Because QCon, I feel, is a very kind of polished environment. You know, they know what they're
Yeah.
doing. They've ran LANs for years. Giga-bite are a very new thing in comparison. How, I guess, did it compare to you?
I mean, there was a weird bit where halfway through the day, me and Aaron, we didn't have any games. We checked, we didn't have any games for like half an hour, and there was a shopping center right by the cafe. We just ended up going there, found the Subway. We were in the middle of ordering a Subway, and then Aaron gets a message from John. Apparently, I got a message from Dmox as well, but I didn't check my phone. But Aaron got a message from John saying we actually had a game like right then. So we rushed through our order.
That was the only mistake I made throughout the
Yeah,
day.
and we just
Okay.
had we had to play our series with like a Subway in front of us that was just like, haunting us. We just couldn't eat it, and it was the saddest series I'd ever played.
I'm giving myself a pass on one mistake. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well,
No,
we'll allow that one, John. We'll allow it.
to
Well,
be
that's
fair,
nice.
John, I'd say you absolutely played a blinder because you knew exactly how you wanted to run the whole thing. So the system between you
yes.
and me was roughly you tell me what game's next, and I shout at people and get them into seats, and
Yep.
it worked a
Basically-
treat.
Yeah, I was basically responsible for the stream schedule, which you can all blame me for streaming the wrong semifinal for the next second LAN in a row. Let's
I
see.
mean, no, don't kick yourself about that. I mean, if anyone thinks that we have a streaming schedule to start with, show me like 10 more staff members, please, and then maybe we'll do that. But until that day, yeah, maybe just relax a bit. I just appreciate that we had something going because,
Yes.
yeah, no, it was good fun.
I guess we could touch on the results because it was
Yeah.
this is one of our more bigger LANs. So I think this has gone under the radar. Like we had like new LAN winners, which
Yeah, that's true. I have to admit, I feel like that didn't hit people as hard as maybe it might have.
I think like it's not hitting people as hard, like because you look at the team that won. We don't Bim Bam, Ads or Ryan, who are 2/3, like they're their own actual team, and Virtuoso, who's now a literal RLRS player. So like you look at the talent, like it's not as surprised, but still like Morgan Fresh, they've won 4 LANs in a row up to this point, and Blah is a very capable player.
Yeah.
Like he was honestly he was the best player on their team that day. He played the blinder. But yeah, so we don't Bim were victorious. 4-1 in the finals over EZW. EZW was pushed close though. They dropped the game to NSG in the quarterfinals, and they were taken to Game 5 by Wee Vicious in the semifinals. Wee Vicious being Jakey, Alex, and Timsy. Which game I wish was streamed because it was actually fantastic.
Yeah, that was
Sorry.
a very close game.
Because the other semifinal was EZW versus Dale, and the Game 3 EZW literally won 8-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I have to say I thought about is maybe one of the reasons it wasn't such a huge deal that a new team had won LAN is because EZW, as in Mug Fusher, and their third was Blah this time, not Logic, which we've seen in past LANs.
Yes.
I don't know how big a difference that made in terms of how they felt and how they played. I do know one night I was chatting to Mug though, and he's saying that Logic is actually a massive part of that team, or he was at the time. He may not have the mechanical brilliance of either of them, but apparently he was like a proper team leader in comparison and was very kind of level-headed, I guess. Whereas the other two might get flustered over almost nothing. I'm not sure if Blah could be the most level-headed person in the world, but I feel like Morgan Fusher wouldn't respond to him in the same way they'd ever respond to Logic. So I thought that. Now I'm probably way overthinking that, but I'm just saying that is maybe one thing that it surprised people less, I guess.
Perhaps.
But yeah, no, I mean it was brilliant to see Vert and Ryan at their first ever LANs. And congrats to Ryan on MVP of the tournament too. He got
dude,
a brilliant.
his MVP award is amazing. It's a
Yeah.
golden Super Nintendo controller.
Yeah,
I was
it's
so
class.
jealous.
Yeah, they that's a kind of quirk of Giga-bite is they get them for like a lot of their tournaments they do, the kind of bigger ones especially. And I remember the owner was like, "Hey, do you want a trophy for your tournament?" I was like, "Yes, I absolutely do. That's the best question I've been asked today." Yeah, it was class, and I believe there was an engraving on it, although I didn't check it out because it was all a little bit rushed. But I believe there's engraving on it somewhere that does say Giga-bite LAN 2019 MVP or something along those lines. So if Ryan's watching, maybe he can check that one. But yeah, no. Ryan played phenomenally, even though it was first LAN, which is, I think, for a lot of people, quite a tough hurdle to get over at times.
Oh yeah.
I don't know
Like,
how you felt, but I think your first LAN is genuinely a big one because you're just not used to
yeah. I mean,
people
even
sitting.
like, I mean, I don't want to speak for Ryan and Vert, but like, they're like they haven't like talked. I'm just talking like, in terms of talking in general. They haven't talked as much. So like, it's a big hurdle. To actually like meet, like come to like a LAN like in real life. But like everyone, like they were fine. Like they got along well with everyone, and so like because like you gotta respect people for actually like, turning up to these LANs. Also, I want to mention this. I'm just going through the rest of people. This one guy, Kralik, like he literally joined the server like 3 days
Yeah,
before the LAN, and he's like, "I want to come and play," and he turns up and plays. Which
true. Yeah,
people like that made this possible.
yeah,
Truly.
yeah.
I'm just going through like the rest of the results. DL Esports, like I said, they came over. They got third place actually,
Yes.
and they got a nice chunk of money for that. So
And the Dutch guy on the team gave me a bag of Dutch waffles, and they are brilliant. They're absolutely class.
oh yes,
They're like these
yeah,
honey things that you can get in Lidl, but these ones are nicer. They're class.
I had one of those as well. I can testify. Fantastic.
I'm feeling left out here.
Yeah.
Sorry, Luca. I was getting to you on the fact you lost game 3 overtime to miss playoffs.
Oh, that was not fun. Jail beat me like 6 times that week in like different events, like in ranked, in Rising Stars, and in Giga-bite Cafe. Like he's beating me everywhere. It's not fun. I don't want.
That'd be a next RLI event. It's just some sort of charity show match between yourself and Jail.
One thing I know that we're not super focused on the gameplay, but I do notice I'm just comparing this to Corkland. The games were a lot closer, at least especially down at the bottom. Like I know Red Iron Racing they went 0-12, but like they pushed Wii Sports Veterans to 2 overtimes, which is
Yeah,
something I wish I could have said at Corkland, to be honest.
I remember watching that. Yeah, that was actually a very close game.
Yeah, I also remember the Haskell's. They took NSU to game 3 overtime.
Oh yeah, that was huge.
Then Audacity nearly beat NSU as
Yeah,
well.
they took a game.
It's
Actually, speaking of NSG, sorry, Dahi, who's on that NSG team, probably hasn't played Rocket League since 2017. So he had a fairly good LAN, all things considered.
oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no, I mean, it was brilliant all around. Yeah, I have to say actually, because Luachra, we were sort of touching on like, when you're at your first ever LAN and stuff, it can affect you. I mean, did you find any major differences between how you played between QCon and Giga-bite? Did you feel a bit more comfortable? I mean, obviously, in some way, kind of tempting it, but apart from that.
Well, I guess like for QCon, I'd never really played like competitively on another setup, so I wasn't like used to. I'm not going to blame it, but 60 hertz is definitely a factor.
Classic, yeah.
Come on. Oh, come on. I play on a Twitch TV.
You play on PlayStation, John.
Okay, I have a legitimate excuse at Corkland because, like, I'm on a whole different system. Like, it just sounds like a lot of whining. Like, that's probably just my entitled to last.
So
sure,
no,
I felt bad for Trix who played on PC at EGW or Giga-bite Cafe, sorry, and a PC soon.
Yeah, it's really funny actually. Trix messaged me about 2 days after that LAN and said, "Hey, what specs are they?" And then I realized he's gonna get his own computer.
Yeah.
Possibly. So I love the ambition there. I don't know if he's actually gone through with it or not, but that was quite funny. But yeah, no, look, 60 hertz problems aside, I think it's a very fair point. When you're playing on a different setup, it does feel different. One thing I
Yeah.
noticed is when I'm at home, I actually I probably sit very close to my screen, and I never noticed this until I sat in front of another screen, and everything looked a little bit too small, and I didn't know why. Do you know, it's weird and it's specific, and you would never think about it unless you
Yeah,
go
it's
to
just the
something
small
like this.
things.
But it does make a difference, and for me, it really does sort out the boys and the men at times as to who is still a good player when they're totally out of their comfort zone. But yeah, okay, we've labored over Giga-bite at this point. I think.
I just want to say one more thing on
Yeah, go for
Giga-bite.
it.
Like every LAN that goes ahead is a success, okay? But the fact that this LAN went ahead is a particular success.
Yes. Yeah, spot on. I think just getting it
I
there
just
was.
thanks to everyone.
Yeah, I think getting it there was an achievement in itself. Never mind, how well it went on the day. Yeah, but anyways, if all of our LAN talk hasn't, inspired you, some shameless advertising here. Don't forget Insomnia LAN. I believe it's 9th and 10th of November, so roughly a month away by the time that this
The
goes
Rocket
up.
League event is the 9th, the Saturday.
Yeah, the 9th.
There is
Bingo.
only 14 spots available. Okay,
Teams,
not going
team spots.
14 team spots, so 14 teams of 3. It's not going over. Okay, spots are legitimately limited. Sign up. You true like chances are this like it's LAN. Like, why don't you want to go to a LAN? Like, how many times do we have to say it? Just go.
Do you know what we'll do? Do you know this just sounded really. But have you ever seen an episode of Dora the Explorer and she stops talking to let you answer? What we'll do, John, is we'll make a video of you arguing to nobody who doesn't want to go to LAN, and you'll just get you shouting random reasons to go to LAN and a gap for them to respond, and then come back with something else. It's just back and forth. That's what we need.
That's exactly what we need.
That's an interesting proposition.
But let's not reenact that tonight. Yeah. So Insomnia is 9th and 10th. If you heard that name before, that's because they're a massive LAN event over in England. I believe they had I-66 recently, so I'm assuming that is their 66th ever event.
I think 66. I don't know what.
Well, I don't know where the number comes from, but look, they had a big one recently enough, so maybe that's how you heard the name. And they're coming over here. They're coming over to Dublin. They're going to be in the RDS. RDS is a great place for a LAN. If anyone hasn't been there before, it's brilliant. It is literally the biggest convention kind of a centre you'll find in Dublin and possibly the island of Ireland. So if you're even thinking of coming, you should do it. Yeah, anyone, by the way, who somehow stumbled on this video and isn't part of a Discord server, links will be below. Our Twitter and all the rest will be down there. So do join, get involved, and find yourself a team. Because all I'll say is it'll be so worth it. They're brilliant.
This is also worth noting. The prize pool, winners get a trip to Insomnia UK next year in March.
Yes.
To represent Ireland, represent the Emerald Isle.
There you go.
Get some actual national pride going.